Okay, so to run over the personal details again, in the previous screen, mine were blanked out because they are, as I say, personal details, correct? So here, you put your name, your country, city, state, zip, your address, your phone number, your email, currency you prefer to work in, and naturally you're going to have to check the I agree to subscribe to your newsletters in order to get the next button to show up. I'll show you how that works. See, you have to click that. Now here you have the opportunity to choose the level of leverage, 1 to 100, meaning basically if you had $1,000 in the account, then you can basically control a forex contract worth $100,000, say the euro dollar, US dollar, for instance. Okay, so here you can adjust the amount of leverage. Here, again, as we stated before, I left this at $5,000. You may want to change that. It may change for certain types of things I want to demonstrate, such as a larger forex portfolio using a standard account, a standard size contract. So in that case, it would need to be larger as far as the deposit level is concerned. But currently we're leaving this at the $5,000 mark. So here it is as it stands, and you fill in all these things and you continue through, and you'll be given a username and 2 passwords. Both of those you'll need to record and keep handy. Okay, so that's it for that section. I'll close that out and we'll get into some more Metatrader platform basics. So as you can see, we're all set to go here. Down here, see the account balance, $5,000. Okay, in our virtual account. Now understand that, again, this is a demo account. This is virtual money, not real money. When it's time for you to open a real account, you won't be able to do that from the terminal itself as we're looking at it. You'll have to contact the appropriate brokerage company, whoever you happen to be trading through, and get things authorized there. You'll be able to see that when you go up here to the navigator window. It'll show up in accounts down here as the real account. So with that in mind, we just want to stress that, again, this is a demo account, and we are going to learn more about Metatrader. This is the default screen that comes up in Metatrader with 4 different currency pairs, euro dollar, US dollar. You can click on these and it'll highlight the particular one you're interested in. Great British Pound, US dollar, US dollar, Swiss franc, US dollar, Japanese yen. You can click on each of these and you can see the highlights change here as well. One of the first things you may want to change would be the look and feel of individual charts. What I'm going to do is going to maximize this so we have one chart here, and then I'm going to go down to the properties, and here are a number of the common types of things. You can have it as candlesticks. Scaling can change. The chart can auto scroll, which basically means if you bring it over there, when it ticks, it'll pop back as the price changes, so that you'll be right here at the most current price. So let's look back here again. Go to properties and colors. Let's say we wanted to change a color scheme. Here's one way to do it. You can hit the yellow and black, change the color scheme that way. That's back to the original size of the chart. Go back here. Let's change something else. Green on black we saw. Now there's black on white. Okay, which some people may prefer. As you can see, you can go through and see the charts that were alongside here by simply going down and clicking on one of the tabs, and you'll see that everything here is as it was originally preserved. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay, now let's say we want a more traditional looking kind of a candlestick. Okay, we've got the background is white. Say we want a bull candle to be green. And it looks like green. And that we want a bear candle to be red. There we go. Let's see our changes here. Let's expand that out. And there we go. Completely different look, completely different feel. More traditional types of candles than you may see as the black and white, or the black, sort of the hollow and green, as we see over here. Yeah, the hollow one, and then a different color here. So here, bullish candles are green, and bearish candles are red. Let's go through an additional modification here. Okay. Let's see, the grid's gray. What I really like to do is to change just one additional thing here. Bar down, red, bar up, black. Let's make that green. So I want to remove that border from around there. There we go. That's how I want it to look. I want to remove the border and just have the pure candle there. So remove that black border, and this is what we get. Now we can pop up here, see the zoom in, and we can click on zoom in and get a closer, more bird's eye type of view. Auto scroll is on. You can turn auto scroll off if you want to, but auto scroll's on. You can see it pops right back when it's on. And we're here at the most recent price. Okay, now let's say, for instance, that this is a template that we would like to save. So let's do this. First, I'm going to go here. I'm going to delete that indicator because I don't want to include the indicator in the template. I'm going to go here to template. I'm going to put save template. And I'm going to give this template a name. And I'm going to call this template simply candlesticks. There we go. Candlesticks.tpl is the file name. And I'll save that. And away we go. So you can see there you've got a nice candlestick template set up. And you're back here. You could change all these if you wanted to. I'll show you exactly how to do that. Okay. Okay, we'll go here. Go to template. Scroll down to your candlestick template. We just created this candlesticks template, and watch this. There we go. Now, if you want to, you can create these templates, and you can set them up pretty much any way that you'd like. For instance, let's say you wanted something. What are we going to add in here? Bum 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 bum. We've got template. We got all that stuff. We could change these as well. Okay. But while we're doing this, I don't want you to forget about this because this is important, is profiles. And so let's save the profile as new profile. And you can call it whatever you want. New profile 1. And you may want to be a little bit more descriptive and call it something like candlestick profile, for instance. Save it like that. Okay. And I'll show you what the profiles and templates kind of work in the same way. Here you've got a British pound profile, so you can see that. We can tile all those windows kind of any way you want. You can tile those vertically, horizontally. I guess it thinks that's it. There we go, vertically like this. Cascade the windows, so you can choose which one you want. You could also make the selections down here as to which actual screen is on top. So there we go. So let's go back. Let's go back to candlestick profile. You see it loads right up. And what happens is, as you'll notice, there's our default profile. This is the first one as we load it up. That's the default Metatrader profile. So we're going to pop back over. We're going to select our candlestick profile. Now notice that you can change a lot of things here. If you wanted to change and have an additional euro dollar US dollar chart, you could drag it over. See how it changes it here? It changes everything. And a new chart, you press this, you get an additional chart. Hold on, maybe I'm going too fast, but you get an additional chart. You click that, goes off. So if you want this to be, you could change this to pound. This is already changed down here, so you may not want to change this to anything. Again, you want to change this one, and you can leave the CCI, but for our purposes what we're going to do is I'd like to just have a different template here, and we'll go down there. We'll go to candlesticks for the time being. No, in fact we won't go to candlesticks. What we're going to do is let's just create a, for this, let's just create a we've got a regular bar chart. That's what exactly we'll want here, is a regular bar chart, but we want the colors to be different. We want the we'll go here to a black on white, and okay, I'm liking the look of that. This part doesn't show up that strongly there, but the bar chart is really what I wanted. As you can see, as you scroll in, it gets bigger and bigger. So, okay. I also want to transform this into a bar chart. It's easier for people to visualize it based upon how they see in particular what's best for them. So let's go here, and let's go down here, black on white. There we go. So we've got that, and as you'll see as you scroll in, the bars get thicker a little bit as we go in. So, all right, that looks good. So far so good, right? All righty. Now, let's go through some of the basics again. Let's say we want a plain bar chart. So what I'm going to do here is go to the indicators list on this one, and I'm going to delete that MACD indicator because I just want a plain old bar chart right here. So I'm going to go here, right click, I'm going to scroll down the template. I'm going to save template, and I'm going to name the template something very simple, bar chart. And let's give it a bar chart 1 in case we want to place one in here that's a bar chart with a particular indicator on it as well. So I'll pop down here, and I'll go to template, pop in bar chart, and there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is also at the profile. Let's go to default. Okay, see our default there. Now let's pop back and go to candlestick. And as you can see, the changes we made were updated automatically. So as we changed everything up here, the top two to candlesticks, we changed the bottom two to bar charts. When we went back to profile, it's all saved for us, so that's great. So you can save as many profiles as you'd like. You want to go through and change things around, you can as often as you like. If you exclude that chart, you want to add an additional chart, you can always do that. Again, go up here and say you want to add the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Bam, there you go. Now say you want it to be a candlestick chart. You go down here, you go to your templates, you click on candlesticks, you're all set. It's a beautiful thing. Auto scroll brings you out to the most recent price, and there you are. Again, that's just an example. So, but you've got a number of ways you can do things. If, for instance, let's just say, for instance, that you would like to set this up, and let's have a euro dollar, US dollars set up, and let's have these set up in varying time frames. So here I can drag this, all I'm doing is right clicking, dragging over to the chart, letting it go. Right clicking, dragging over to the chart, letting it go. If you wanted to go straight candlesticks on all these, you could do that too. So let's set that up. Candlesticks. Candlesticks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set this. There's two different ways to change the period of what you're looking at, and we're going to get into more tweaks in the very next video. So I'll get back with you momentarily. We'll take a look at how to set up some even more interesting types of templates and profiles as we move along. All right, we're back. In our previous coverage, we went over filling out our account details and also basics of profiles and templates. And we started to construct this particular profile here with the euro dollar, US dollar chart group. And we'll continue with that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with an hourly chart here. You could change the time frame any way you'd like, and here's a demonstration of that. I'll make this larger so you can see. Monthly, big moves in the month. Weekly, daily, 4-hour, hour, M30s, 30 minutes. You can see the little tabs up there. 5 and 1. Okay, and you can also change it this way if you'd like. Change the tabs this way. Okay. Now what we're setting up here is going to be specifically for the euro dollar, US dollar. We'll start off here with a 1-hour time frame. We already have the 4-hour time frame set up. We'll move over here to a daily time frame, and here to a weekly time frame. Okay, and basically the way we set this up is it's kind of in a top-down trading sense. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save the profile as Euro dollar, US dollar, profile 1. Okay, there we go. And we'll separate that so you can see that out. Okay, that's profile 1. Okay. All right. So here we go. Now, I'm going to expand this, and you'll notice that once that's expanded, all of the other ones are large too. Go back down and see them all in one screen. We could actually do that. But what we'll do in this is set up what I like to call top-down trading setup. Now, top-down trading basically means you start off with a larger time frame and you look to see which direction the trend is in. Now, people can interpret the trend in a lot of different ways. Flat as through here, and we've been moving upward slowly. Let's see, I want to move the daily over here next to the weekly. There's a daily. We're still in an uptrend here. There's our 4-hour, and we've lost some upward momentum here. And 1 hour, this is what we're looking like. We're really bouncing around as evidenced here. Again, this is just one way to set up a screen for a particular currency pair that you might want to study. Now, this can be applicable with any of the other currency pairs, pound, dollar, yen, etc. You can set it up, and also if you prefer to trade on a smaller time frame, all these can be changed, and you could go 5-minute there, 15-minute there. I probably would go 30, but hour there, and say 4-hour there. Just a matter of personal preference as to what your particular trading methodology dictates you should be doing. But again, for top-down trading in a larger time frame sense, these are some of the parameters, and these are some of the ones that we'll be using as far as examples too. And a lot of people won't even bother to look at the weekly chart because they feel like it's too long term of a time frame in order for them to find useful and as scalpers or day traders. Now, some people look at all the time frames just to keep informed, but a lot of times, again, as we showed you previously, the very, very short-term scalpers are looking to get only a few pips of profit. So they, in particular, are going to look to grab small time frame charts like that, for instance. And that's basically that's the basics of setting up templates and profiles as well. If you wanted to insert indicators, you can always pop over here. I'll show you how you do that. It's a couple different ways. Okay, here's one. Let's go for one that everyone's familiar with, and that's your moving average. You can change a lot of parameters here with an indicator. The color, the type of line, the thickness of that line, where it will be applied, which type of moving average it is, simple, exponential, smooth, or linear weighted. The period of the moving average, be it 5, 15, or 50, or 200-day, is often used in the stock market. The default is set at 14. The shift, which I'll show you how the shift works, and that'll be the actual distance from the chart, and that can give you some interesting perspective too. All right, you can say put it in all time frames if you want to, or you can put it in one particular time frame only. We'll put all time frames. Not all charts, just all time frames. That just means that if I change it to hour, daily, weekly, etc., then the moving average is still there. Now, for instance, I'll show you something else in the template. If you had that template in the candlestick template, and you call it candle 14 simple moving average, let's call it SMA, like that, and you saved it, okay, then you can go over here. As you can see, the indicator is also applied. Now, here's one thing to be cautious of when using the power of templates. And you can create as many templates as you want, and profiles as well, which gives you tremendous flexibility. You can set up as many types of studies as you want. For instance, if you wanted to, you find some studies that are working particularly well on the euro dollar US dollar, you may say, hey, listen, I'd like to do that on the pound. Then you can do that on the pound. So I suggest you go to profiles and you save the profile as Great British Pound. I'm just saving the profile prior to doing anything. Okay, basically this is kind of a new profile name. Okay, so here we go, and then I'd go through and I would simply drag this over, and there you're done. So you've got, your profiles all set up for your Great British Pound. We go back to this profile and hit euro dollar US dollar. There's a euro dollar US dollar in this particular setup, and you may want to call these something different. Great British Pound, US dollar. You may want to call it GBP USD candlesticks, or EUR USD candlesticks, whichever you prefer. But as you can see, there is a ton of flexibility in what you can do as far as creating the profiles and then setting everything up exactly the way you want. So as an overview of templates, a template can store the chart type and color, chart scale, any attached expert advisor and his parameters, and we'll talk about expert advisors a bit later, any type of technical indicator, and any types of line studies as well, such as trend lines. That's what a trend line will look like. There's a trend line right there. Okay, just to show you what that looks like. Now that's going to be in the objects list. Two trend lines. You just delete those, and you're back to the normal chart. Okay, here's another way to access profiles. Up here you see profiles. Just click, go to the drop down menu, and it's kind of neat because you can kind of go to the next profile. We'll say, for instance, we're up here at the default, and you can go right through the next profile. And the next one. Sorry, wrong one. Wrong little click there. And the next one. So you can just hit Control F5. I'll show you how that works as well. It's kind of cool, huh? So now if you want to go the other direction, Shift F5. So Control F5, Shift F5, and that moves us back through. All right. So profiles are a great way to store groups of charts. these could all be, different, for instance. They don't have to be the same. Again, as we see here, or it could be one particular market that you're interested in, one currency pair, and it could be the euro dollar, US dollar. However you want to do it, you can save the profiles and templates. And here's something that I really like about this. Once you save a profile, you save a template, it's there. So you get an opportunity to go back and experiment with it. So it means that get into MetaTrader and go in, and you can you click some buttons and don't worry about losing anything. It's here. It's all set up for you, and that's basically the coverage of templates and profiles. I wanted to show you this first so that you can have a framework for the other things that we're going to do as we get into looking at indicators and look at actual trading inside of MetaTrader. Thank you so much for looking at this module, and look forward to seeing you in the very next module. Shutterstock Music.